Bi'ur Mishnah Aleph. So we are on the second chapter, Mishnah Aleph. The introduction. פרק זה עוסק בהדלקת נר שבת. This chapter comes with lighting the Shabbos candle. ואמרו בגמרא, and they said in the Gemara, הדלקת נר שבת חובה. The lighting of the Shabbos candle, it's an obligation. ומפרש רש"י, what do you mean obligation? Which mitzvah is it? Not be obligation, it needs to be a mitzvah. So Rashi says there's a mitzvah. Which one? Kvod Shabbat. It says lechabed et Shabbat. You have to honor Shabbat. This is honoring Shabbat. How? שאין סעודה חשובה אלא במקום אור כאין יום. It says you want to have an important meal, you have to have light over there. You cannot eat in darkness. It has to be like a feast. וכן מבואר בתוספות, this is also explained in the Tosfot, שחובה היא שיסעוד במקום הנר, that the obligation is to eat in a place where there's candles, משום עונג שבת, because of the enjoyment of Shabbat. So two reasons, כבוד ועונג. עוד מובא בגמרא, or it brought more in the Gemara, ותזנח משלום נפשי, I'm not quite sure what this word means, זו הדלקת נר בשבת. It means this is the lighting of the candle on Shabbat, שלא היה לו ממה להדליק. It says, איכה. It says the people over there, I'm not sure who was saying this verse, but it looks like he didn't have peace on Shabbat because why didn't he have peace? Because he didn't have candles. So once he didn't have candles, all his Shabbat didn't feel peaceful because there was no light. ובמקום שאין נר, אין שלום. In a place there's no candle, there's no peace. משנתנו בא ללמד, המשנה comes to teach, אלו שמנים ואלו פתילות אינם קשורים לנר שבת. It says what kind of oils, what kind of wicks are not kosher for the candle of Shabbat. And now, why it might be not kosher? So we can almost not go into the reasoning of here, we can go back to the reasoning from before. If it's not good light, right? Oh. And the candles are like this, and you might come to what? To tilt it, to bring more oil, because the oil is not good quality.
So it's going to go actually on the quality.
That's right. So on the quality of the wick and the quality of the oil has to be good. Because again, what are we worried about?
Is that you're going to tilt.
במה מדליקים? In what do you light? באילו פתילות ושמנים מדליקים את הנר של שבת. With what kinds of wicks, what kinds of oil you're allowed to light the Shabbos candles. ובמה אין מדליקים, and in what you don't light. ובאילו פתילות ושמנים אסור להדליק, in what kind of wicks and oils you're not allowed to light. אין מדליקים לא בלחש. בלחש, we don't light in לחש. What's לחש? פתילה עשויה מהסיב. This is a wick that is made from the fiber. הגדל בין קליפת הארז לאצלו. The fiber that you take from the cedar, ארז is cedar? The cedar tree, between the bark and the wood itself, there's some kind of fiber that they take from it. It says they used to use it for wicks. So it says that wick is not a good wick, not good quality wick, don't take it from there. ולא בחוסן, and you do not light in חוסן. What's חוסן? פשטן שאינו מנופץ, it's flax that you didn't work it all the way through. היינו שלא ננער משוברי הגבעולים, which means it's flax that it is still rough. You didn't take all the dirt out of it. ולא בכלך, and not in kelech, this is פסולת של מושי. It is what comes out of, how do you say mesh in English? Silk. What comes out of the silk, not the product itself, the garbage of the silk. ולא בפתילת העידן, and not with the wick of עידן, מן צמר שבערבה. It says this is a kind of wool that is in the plant of ערבה, it's a kind of fiber that's in the plant of the ערבה. סיב הגדל בין קליפתה לעצה. It's again the fiber that grows between the bark and the tree itself. And what's ערבה in English? You have over there? Yeah, but how do you say it? Willow. Willow, thank you. ולא בפתילת העידן. and not in the wick of Idan. We already said what Idan. ולא בפתילת המדבר, and not in the wick of the desert. עלי עשב, this is leaves of grass, שעושים מהם פתילות, that people used to do with them wicks. ויש מפרשים, there are some things, some say, זרע כמין צמר הוא, it's a seed like wool, והוא של נטע נקרא תפוח סדום. And there's a tree that grows from it, it's called the תפוח סדום, the apple of סדום. Okay.
אז לא מכיר את כל אלה.
ולא בירוקה שעל פני המים, and not in the green stuff that floats upon the water, צמח ירוק, it's a green plant, הגדל בשולי האונייה, that is growing underneath the boat, around it, כשהיא שוהה במים, that it is, when it is in the water. זמן מרובה במקום אחד, it stays over there in one place a long time, you'll have all this greenery growing around it. מכל אלו הדברים שנמנו עד כאן, from all the things that we count until here, אסור לעשות פתילות לנר שבת. You're not allowed to make wicks for the candle of Shabbat. It looks like some people used to make wicks from them. It tells you, from them, you're not allowed to make wicks. מבואר הטעם בגמרא, the reason is given in the Gemara, מפני שהאור מסכסכת בהם. It says because their quality is bad, and the light flickers. And the light flickers in them. כלומר שאין היא נכנסת בתוך הפתילות הללו, אלא מסכסכת אותה מבחוץ. It's not the wick that is burning, it's almost like the fumes from outside, it catches it, and that's what's burning. ואין השלבת עולה יפה. And there's no good light because of the wick. ויש לחשוש, so because there's no good light, now you come to worry, שמא יטה את הנר, maybe you're going to come to tilt the candle, ונמצא מבעיר בשבת, and then you're going to come to transgress the Shabbat. מטעם זה אסור גם להדליק בשמנים המנויים להלן משנתנו. From this reason, all the other oils are also not allowed. לפי שאינם נמשכים אחר הפתילה, because the wick doesn't draw these kinds of oil very good. ומתוך שאין הנר דולק יפה, and because the candle doesn't light very good, יש לחשוש שמא יבוא להטות את השמן על פי הנר. We are worried maybe you're going to tilt the more oil to the wick. ויש מבארים הפטעם, and there are those who explains the reason, exactly the opposite. It says, we're not worried maybe you're going to light the candle. What are we worried? שמא יכבה הנר ולא יהיה שלום בבית. We worried the opposite. It says, anyway, this is no good. Oh, no. It says, not that you're going to
no, it will turn
it
off
will turn by itself. That's right. Not that you will do it, but that the candle, because it's bad quality, will extinguish by itself. And then what's the problem? You didn't do any Shabbos. You didn't break any Shabbos rule.
But you don't have Shlom Bayit.
But you don't have the kavod or oneg that we discussed before. The kavod of Shabbat or the oneg Shabbat that we discussed before. The honor Shabbat and the enjoyment of Shabbat. Okay. והרמב"ם בפירוש המשניות כותב, the Rambam says, שמא יהיה אור הנר חלוש, it says maybe the light of the candle will be small, וחשוך, and dark, ויניחנו ויצא, and he's going to leave it and go out. וזה אסור לפי שהדלקת נר שבת חובה, and this is forbidden because the lighting of the candle of Shabbat is an obligation. You need to eat by the candle.
What do you mean? What the Rambam? I don't understand the Rambam. What he said, that if it's the wick, it's going to be weak. You say, I don't want this light, and you go away.
Yeah, you don't need to stay in that room. You're going to go to sleep.
Oh.
And then you're not celebrating Shabbat properly.
Because you don't have the light.
That's right. The second reason that we just gave, oneg Shabbat or kavod Shabbat. כלומר שחובה לאדם לישב בשבת לאור הנר. It says it's an obligation to have a meal by the candle of the light. And over here you said there's no reason to me to sit over here. I might as well eat in the bedroom, or I might eat in the kitchen. I'll eat when I go to sleep. It says no, you need it to be lit good. Okay. ולא בזפת, and not in tar. I think that's what it means. נוסח אחר לא בזפת, וזו הגרסה הנכונה, כמו שאמרו בגמרא. It says, is there a vav over there or not a vav? Yeah, so if you say velo bezefet, it means that it's still a wick. If you say that if you say just lo bezefet, it means now we're starting the oil part. Ad kan psul ptilot. In other words, where is it? Until here we were talking about wicks. Mikan ve'elach psul shmanim. From here onwards, there's no oils. In other words, so the zefet is a new category, and there's not vav. There shouldn't be a vav over there. En madlikim bezefet nimesa. We don't light with tar which is melted, velo b'sha'ava, and not in wax nitachat, and not in wax which is melted. כלומר שאסור ליתן זפת או שעווה בנר במקום שמן. You're not allowed to put tar or wax in the candles instead of oil. We're not talking about the wax that we have today. Yeah? Or maybe we're even talking about wax that we have today. It means that the wax is in a state of melting. The wax.
The wax.
The wax is melted. It's oil. It's liquid. That if the wax is
hot to be melted.
Oh, so maybe you have a thing that is hot, or maybe they used to have it's possible that they used to have a wax. You can put it in that it is also melted in room temperature. Today we don't do it because otherwise everything will melt to you. But maybe they add something so it will not get melted in room temperature. But in those times you can get wax to melt maybe in room temperature. It says those liquid waxes don't use. אבל מה שאנחנו רגילים לעשות נר משעבה, the fact that we are doing wax from candles from wax, שנותנים את הפתילה בתוכה מותר, that you give the wick in it, that's allowed because it's not liquid, it's solid. By us, the candle is solid, made out of wax, that's allowed. But if the wax will be liquid, it's not allowed. It looks like, because when the wax is liquid, it doesn't draw good. ולא בשמן קיק, one is not allowed to use shemen kik. Shemen הנעשה מגרעיני עץ הקיקיון. This is oil that is made from the seeds of the kikion tree. This is the yona tree. ולא בשמן שריפה, and not in oil of שריפה. We already covered this. What is shemen שריפה? Shemen שריפה can be very good quality olive oil. Yeah? Shemen truma, this is truma oil, שנטמע, that became impure, ונקרא שמן שריפה, and it is called oil for burning, לפי שהוא עומד להישרף, because that oil is there to be burnt and not to be done mitzvahs with. ואף על פי שמותר ליהנות בשעת שריפתו, but it says in a regular case you may be allowed to cook. Let's say you have a wood oven like Moshe, on a regular day, and you have some coals in the stove, so you take the oil and you pour it on your fire, on your coals, so it will catch up. You're allowed to put breads in a regular day, yeah, in order to use it, yeah. מבואר בגמרא, it explains the Gemara, שמדובר כאן ביום טוב שחל להיות בערב שבת. Over here we're talking about not a regular day. We're talking about over here a Yom Tov that happens to be happen on a Friday. שכשמדליק הנר מבעוד יום, because when he starts lighting the candle when it's still day, נמצא שורף שמן טמא של תרומה ביום טוב. The problem is burning an oil, impure oil of truma in Yom Tov. And so what's the problem of burning oil of truma in Yom Tov? וההלכה היא, and the law is, שאין שורפים קודשים פסולים ביום טוב. It says we're not allowed to burn anything which used to be holy, which is not good, on a Yom Tov. כמבואר במשנה הבאה. Like we're going to learn this in the next Mishnah. So we leave it for that. ויש מפרשים על פי ירושלמי, those who explain according to ירושלמי, שגזרו חכמים שלא להדליק בשמן שריפה. They said, do not light oil that is truma, that it became impure, בכל ערב שבת. That's not only on Yom Tov. You're not allowed to do it on any Friday. משום יום טוב שחל להיות בערב שבת. Why are they worried about? Once we allow you to do it on a regular Friday, when a Yom Tov happens on a Friday, we also don't, you say it's the same thing, I'm allowed to. So because of that, they say everything is not allowed. ועוד טעם אחר מובא בגמרא, there's another reason it was done in the Gemara, שחששים שמא יטה את הנר כדי שישרף השמן מהר. Some say that you are, maybe you're going to come to tilt the candle because you want the oil to burn quickly, הואילו מצווה עליו לבערו, because it's a commandment to burn it. So you're saying, you worried about the commandment. You want to do the commandment quickly, you might come to do that. Okay. So, not shemen srefa. Next one, velo be'aliyah. We do not use the fat. You don't use the fat. ואין מדליקים בשומן העלייה, כשר לאכילה. That is kosher for eating. Again, the problem over here, it looks like, doesn't burn good. ולא בחלב, האסור באכילה. So, not in the kosher part, and not in the non-kosher fat. In none of them. נחום המדי אומר, נחום the מדי says, מדליקין בחלב מבושל. He says, if you cook the fat, and now it's in a liquid state, on that you're allowed to cook, to lighten. היינו מאותח, when it's liquid state. שנמשך הוא אחר הפתיחה, because it's already liquid, it's good quality. It says, when it's not good quality, when it's solid. That's when the fat is not good quality. But when it's a liquid, it will draw down good. וחכמים אומרים, but the sages says, we don't agree with you, נחום, אחד מבושל, אחד שאינו מבושל, if it's fat, liquid or fat solid, בין חלב מבושל, בין שאינו מבושל, אין מדליקים בו נר שבת. We don't light the candle of Shabbat. It says, what's the problem? It lights good. בגמרא שואלים, in the Gemara they ask, חכמים היינו תנא-קמא. It says, the sages are the first Tana of the Mishnah. שהרי גם תנא-קמא אומר, because also the תנא-קמא says, ולא בחלב, and not in fat. ומשמע כל חלב שהוא אין מדליקים בו. And it looks like any fat you don't lighten it. In other words, kosher, non-kosher, liquid, non-liquid. ומתרצים, and they say, שיש הבדל ביניהם, it says there is a difference, כשמעורב קצת שמן בחלב. It says, where do we disagree? When there's a little bit of oil intermingled with the fat. שאחד מהם סובר שבקרון זה מותר להדליק. One of them, if it says, if it's a mixture of oil and fat, then one of them says you're allowed to light. ואחד סובר שאפילו די תערובת שמן אסור להדליק. And one says, I don't care, if it's not 100, if you have a little bit of shemen inside, a little bit of fat inside, it impurifies, I mean, you're not allowed to light it because I don't trust this oil. ברם לא נתברר מי האוסר ומי המתיר. We're not sure who is the one who allows the mixture and who is the one who doesn't allow the mixture. מכל מקום ההלכה היא, but for our sake, the law is, שנותן אדם שמן כלשהו לתוך חלב, the law is that if you give a little bit of oil into the fat, and as long as the fat is liquid fat, מהותח ומדליק בו נר שבת. So as long as you mix a little bit of oil in the liquid חלב, you're allowed to.